They carry about 95 anti-air and land attack missiles. They have an unmatched capability to defend themselves. 350 sailors aboard, 2 helicopters on most of the ships in the class.
With a staggering $100 billion price tag, the new generation United States aircraft carrier is now ready to dominate the seas, sending shockwaves through global naval powers, especially Russia. This technological marvel represents the pinnacle of military engineering, equipped with cutting-edge systems and unrivaled firepower. As we dive into the details, how will this colossal carrier shift the balance of naval power? And what does its emergence mean for future conflicts? Join us as we delve into the United States' $100 billion next-generation aircraft carrier that is finally ready for action and Russia is shocked. The American origin of floating runways. The concept of floating runways originated in the United States, a fact that aligns with America's historical approach to military strategy. In 1910, a significant milestone was reached when an airplane successfully took off from a ship for the first time. This groundbreaking event occurred on the USS Birmingham, a light American cruiser. Engineers had constructed a wooden platform measuring 25 by 7 meters on the ship's deck to facilitate this experiment. The aircraft used in this test was equipped with special floats, allowing it to land safely on water after a brief 5-minute flight. This achievement marked the beginning of naval aviation and set the stage for further advancements in the field. The following year, in 1911, American innovation took another leap forward. An officer managed to land an airplane directly on an artificially enlarged deck of a cruiser. This accomplishment demonstrated the potential for ships to serve as mobile airfields, a concept that would revolutionize naval warfare. Continuing this trend of progress, the year 1915 saw the development of the catapult system. This crucial piece of technology enabled aircraft to take off from ships more efficiently, overcoming the limitations of short deck spaces. These early developments laid the foundation for America's dominance in naval aviation. The United States quickly established itself as the unquestioned leader in this field of armament, a position it has maintained for over a century. This early start and continued focus on aircraft carrier technology have played a significant role in shaping America's naval strategy and global military presence. Evolution of aircraft carriers, from wooden platforms to nuclear power. The evolution of aircraft carriers spans over a century, showcasing remarkable technological advancements. Since the early experiments, the United States has developed and deployed 18 distinct types of aircraft carriers, each representing a step forward in naval aviation. The journey began with the CV-1 Langley, a converted coal carrier that became the first American aircraft carrier. This transformation from a cargo ship to a floating airfield demonstrated the adaptability and ingenuity of naval engineers. Over the decades, aircraft carriers grew in size, capability, and complexity. The progression culminated in the modern marvel of naval engineering, the CVN-78 Gerald Ford. This supercarrier represents the pinnacle of current aircraft carrier technology, incorporating cutting-edge systems and design principles. One of the most significant advancements in carrier design is the shift from conventional to nuclear propulsion. Nuclear-powered carriers offer tremendous advantages in terms of range, endurance, and power generation. They can operate for extended periods without refueling, greatly enhancing their strategic flexibility. The evolution also saw improvements in aircraft launch and recovery systems. Early carriers used simple deck runs for takeoffs and arrestor wires for landings. Modern carriers feature sophisticated catapult systems for launches and advanced arrestor gear for recoveries, allowing for the operation of heavier and more capable aircraft. The size of carriers has also increased dramatically. Early carriers were relatively small, limiting the number and types of aircraft they could carry. Contemporary supercarriers are massive floating cities, capable of supporting large air wings with diverse aircraft types, including fighters, bombers, electronic warfare planes, and support aircraft. This ongoing evolution reflects the changing nature of naval warfare and the enduring importance of sea-based air power in military strategy. The Gerald Ford, a super aircraft carrier. The Gerald Ford, classified as a super aircraft carrier, represents the latest advancements in naval technology. Its design incorporates numerous innovations that set it apart from its predecessors. One of the most notable features is its nuclear propulsion system. The Gerald Ford is equipped with two Bechtel A1B reactors, each generating 700 megawatts of power. This translates to a staggering total of almost 2 million horsepower, enabling the massive ship to reach speeds of up to 30 knots, equivalent to 34 miles per hour, despite its enormous size. The carrier's dimensions are impressive. It stretches 337 meters in length, spans 78 meters in width, and towers 76 meters high, surpassing even the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist in New York by 6 meters. With a weight of nearly 100,000 tons, it's a true behemoth of the seas. In terms of aircraft capacity, the Gerald Ford can carry up to 90 planes, helicopters, and unmanned aerial vehicles. This includes advanced aircraft like the fifth-generation F-35C fighters, significantly enhancing its combat capabilities. A major technological leap is the incorporation of electromagnetic catapults. The Gerald Ford features 3 of these advanced systems, which provide smoother acceleration for launching aircraft and offer 25% better performance compared to traditional steam catapults. Perhaps most remarkably, the Gerald Ford is designed to operate on a single reserve of nuclear fuel for its entire 50-year lifespan. This eliminates the need for refueling stops, greatly increasing its operational efficiency and strategic flexibility. The cost of such advanced technology is substantial, with Gerald Ford's price tag reaching approximately $13 billion. This investment reflects the United States Navy's commitment to maintaining technological superiority in naval aviation. Composition and power of carrier strike groups. Carrier strike groups are powerful naval formations centered around an aircraft carrier. These groups are designed to project force and provide a flexible response to various military situations. A typical CSG consists of several components working together. At its core is the aircraft carrier itself, supported by 1 to 4 guided missile cruisers. These cruisers, abbreviated as URO, provide additional firepower and air defense capabilities. The group also includes 2 or 3 destroyers or frigates, which offer further protection and anti-submarine warfare capabilities. To enhance underwater operations and defense, 1 or 2 multi-purpose nuclear-powered submarines are often part of the group. These submarines can conduct reconnaissance, engage enemy vessels, and provide additional strike capabilities if needed. The CSG is completed by various supply vessels that ensure the group can operate for extended periods without returning to port. This self-sufficiency is crucial for maintaining a presence in distant waters. In total, a CSG can comprise 6 to 10 warships, forming a formidable naval force. The composition can be adjusted based on mission requirements, with the possibility of increasing the number of escort ships if necessary. Some CSGs are designed as fast nuclear-powered groups. These typically include an aircraft carrier, 2 nuclear-powered cruisers, and a nuclear-powered multi-purpose submarine. This configuration maximizes speed and endurance, allowing for rapid deployment and sustained operations. The personnel strength of a CSG is substantial, with up to 9,000 people serving across the various vessels. Of this total, about 6,000 are typically assigned to the aircraft carrier itself. A fully equipped CSG can operate independently for up to 14 days without resupply. It can strike targets at sea up to 575 miles away and can engage onshore objectives at distances of about 1,000 miles. The cost of maintaining aircraft carrier groups. The financial burden of maintaining aircraft carrier groups is substantial, reflecting the complexity and scale of these naval formations. According to analyst calculations, the daily operational cost of a single carrier strike group is approximately $6.5 million. This figure accounts for the expenses associated with running the aircraft carrier, its support ships, aircraft, and personnel. To put this into perspective, the United States currently operates 10 such groups. This translates to a staggering daily expenditure of at least $65 million for the entire fleet of carrier strike groups. Over the course of a year, this amounts to billions of dollars in operational costs alone. These figures raise questions about the cost-effectiveness of maintaining such a large fleet of carrier groups, especially when compared to other potential uses for these funds. For instance, the transcript provides a comparison to healthcare infrastructure. The average cost to build a new hospital in the United States in 2019 was $478 per square foot. A large hospital of 1.2 million square feet, comparable to the NYU Langone Hospital, would cost about $574 million to construct. Remarkably, this amount is equivalent to just 9 days of operation for the 10 aircraft carrier strike groups. This comparison starkly illustrates the immense financial resources devoted to maintaining these naval assets. The high costs associated with carrier groups extend beyond daily operations. The initial investment in building these vessels is also significant, with modern supercarriers like the Gerald Ford costing around $13 billion each. These financial considerations have led to debates within military and political circles about the optimal number of carrier groups to maintain, balancing strategic needs with budgetary constraints. Some argue that the current number of carriers is excessive and that resources could be better allocated to other military or civilian needs. Testing aircraft carrier durability, USS America experiment. In 2005, the United States military conducted a crucial experiment to assess the durability of aircraft carriers. The subject of this test was the USS America CV-66, a carrier first launched in 1964. This experiment provided valuable insights into the resilience of these massive vessels under extreme combat conditions. The test involved subjecting the USS America to a series of simulated attacks using various weapon systems. Over a 4-week period, the ship endured repeated bombings, torpedo strikes, and cruise missile attacks. Despite the intensity and variety of these assaults, the carrier demonstrated remarkable resilience. Surprisingly, all initial attempts to sink the ship proved unsuccessful. This resilience underscored the robust design and construction of aircraft carriers, showcasing their ability to withstand significant damage and remain operational. The USS America finally succumbed after 4 weeks of sustained attacks, providing a wealth of data on the ship's structural integrity, damage control capabilities, and overall survivability. This information proved invaluable for naval architects and engineers working on the next generation of aircraft carriers. Talbot Manville, a leading designer involved in developing new carriers, drew important conclusions from this experiment. He stated that based on the data obtained, the instant destruction of an aircraft carrier would only be possible through the use of a nuclear strike. This assertion highlights the extreme durability of these vessels against conventional weapons. The insights gained from the USS America experiment directly influenced the design of subsequent aircraft carriers. Engineers incorporated lessons learned to enhance survivability features, improve damage control systems, and optimize the overall resilience of newer carriers. This real-world test demonstrated that while aircraft carriers are not invulnerable, they are exceptionally tough and can withstand substantial punishment before losing their operational capabilities. Such durability is crucial for their role in projecting power and surviving in hostile combat environments. Multi-layered air defense system of carrier groups. The air defense system of a carrier strike group is a sophisticated, multi-layered network designed to protect the valuable assets within the group. This system extends from 220 to 400 miles around the carrier, creating a formidable shield against aerial threats. The defense is organized into 3 distinct zones: long range, medium range, and short range. Each zone employs specific assets and strategies to counter different types of threats. In the long-range zone, early detection and interception are key. This area utilizes long-range radar detection aircraft, radar surveillance ships, and combat air patrols. These assets work together to identify potential threats at the earliest possible stage, allowing for timely responses. Medium-range surface-to-air missile systems on anti-missile barrier ships provide additional coverage in this zone. The medium-range zone focuses on neutralizing cruise missiles and attacking aircraft that have penetrated the outer defenses. This layer includes short-range ships and helicopters, electronic warfare aircraft like the Prowler, and anti-missile barrier ships equipped with anti-aircraft missiles. Electronic warfare equipment on the main ships also plays a crucial role in this zone. The close-range air defense zone is the last line of defense, utilizing anti-aircraft self-defense firepower and electronic warfare means to protect individual ships. The aircraft carrier itself is typically covered by at least one USS cruiser for immediate protection. To enhance the effectiveness of this layered defense, The strike group operates in dispersed formations. This tactic makes it more difficult for enemies to target the entire group and reduces the impact of potential attacks. The Aegis Combat Information and Control System serves as the nerve center for this defense network. It can simultaneously detect and track 250 to 300 targets, coordinating defensive actions across the entire strike group. This system allows for the interception of various modern air attack means, including ballistic missiles. Anti-submarine defenses of carrier strike groups. The anti-submarine defenses of carrier strike groups employ a diverse array of technologies and tactics to detect and neutralize underwater threats. The primary asset in this defensive system is the S-3A Viking anti-submarine aircraft, which patrols in a radius of up to 185 kilometers from the carrier. These aircraft conduct shuttle flights, creating a dynamic protective screen around the group. Each S-3A searches its assigned sector, dropping radio hydroacoustic buoys to detect submarine activity. The planes typically deploy 6 to 8 buoys per hour, creating a network of underwater listening devices. Two main detection systems are utilized by these buoys: Jezebel and Julie. The Jezebel system uses passive SSQ-41 bidirectional radio hydroacoustic buoys capable of detecting submarines up to 12 miles away. The Julie system, on the other hand, employs explosive sound sources to create sound waves that reflect off submarines, allowing detection of low-noise vessels at ranges up to 5 miles. Beyond acoustic methods, the SA-3A Vikings are equipped with magnetic anomaly detectors like the AnSQ-81. These can identify submarines by detecting disturbances in the Earth's magnetic field caused by large metal objects, effective at ranges of 2,300 to 3,300 feet. Infrared technology also plays a role, with the ANAAS-36 infrared station able to detect submarines by their thermal signatures or wake patterns at distances up to 12 miles. Radar systems like the AN-APS-115B can spot periscopes or antennas at ranges up to 10 miles, while the AN-ALQ-78 radio reconnaissance station can detect submarine radio transmissions from as far as 370 miles away. The strike group's submarines contribute to this defensive network, patrolling 45 to 100 miles ahead of the main formation and capable of detecting enemy subs up to 60 miles away. For engagement, the group relies on a mix of sub-rock torpedo missiles and homing torpedoes. Closer to the carrier, helicopters and surface ships provide an additional layer of protection, focusing on preventing torpedo attacks by enemy submarines within a 45-mile radius of the group's center. China's AntiCarrier Weapons, Dongfeng 21D, and missile boats. China has developed a formidable arsenal specifically designed to counter the United States. Aircraft carriers with the Dongfeng 21D anti-ship ballistic missile serving as a cornerstone of this strategy. The DF-21D is a groundbreaking weapon system, being the world's first and only anti-ship ballistic missile capable of engaging moving carrier strike groups at long ranges from land-based mobile launchers. With a striking range of 1,100 miles, the DF-21D poses a significant threat to carrier operations. Its maneuvering warheads can be equipped with various guidance systems, enhancing its accuracy and lethality. To support the targeting of these missiles, China has launched a series of satellites, including the Yaogan 7 and optoelectronic satellite, Yaogan 8 and aperture synthesis radar satellite, and Yaogan 9, a set of 3 maritime electronic surveillance satellites. The cost-effectiveness of the DF-21D is particularly noteworthy. United States Navy Captain Henry J. Hendricks estimated that China could produce 1,227 DF-21D missiles for the price of a single United States aircraft carrier. This economic asymmetry presents a strategic challenge for the United States Navy. In addition to the DF-21D, China has invested in a large fleet of missile boats, primarily of the Hubei class. Each of these vessels carries 8 cruise missiles with a range of 160 miles. With approximately 100 such boats in service, China can potentially launch 600 to 700 missiles simultaneously, creating a saturation attack scenario that could overwhelm carrier group defenses. The range of these anti-ship weapon systems also presents a tactical dilemma for United States carrier operations. The DF-21D's 1,100-mile range significantly exceeds the combat radius of carrier-based aircraft, like the FA-18E Super Hornet, that is 390 to 450 nautical miles, and even the newer F-35, exactly 730 nautical miles. This disparity forces carrier groups to operate from distances that may limit their offensive capabilities, potentially negating their strategic value in certain scenarios. Russia's anti-ship missiles, Granite and Zircon. Russia's anti-ship missile arsenal includes two notable weapons, the Granite and the more advanced Zircon. The Granite, known by its NATO codename SSN-19 Shipwreck, is a long-standing Soviet-era supersonic cruise missile designed to combat powerful ship groups, including those with aircraft carriers. Despite being in service for 40 years, it remains a formidable weapon. The Granite missile travels at speeds of Mach 2.5 near the ground and Mach 1.5 at higher altitudes with a range of 400 miles. Its 1,600-pound warhead provides significant destructive power. These missiles are deployed on various Russian naval platforms, including Project 949A, nuclear submarines carrying 24 Granites each, Project 1144, heavy nuclear-powered missile cruisers, 20 Granites each, and the Admiral Kuznetsov aircraft carrier, equivalent to 12 Granites. The newer Zircon hypersonic missile represents a significant leap in anti-ship technology. Recently adopted for service, it boasts a range of up to 1,000 kilometers and can reach speeds of Mach 9. The Zircon's warhead weighs between 650 to 900 pounds. The Russian government plans to replace the older Granite missiles with these advanced Zircon missiles across its naval fleet. The deployment of these missiles on submarines and surface ships creates a multi-layered threat to carrier groups. While the Granite's range doesn't allow its carriers to stay out of reach of carrier-based aircraft, the extended range of the Zircon changes this dynamic significantly. The Russian approach to anti-ship missiles emphasizes high speed and long range, making them particularly challenging for existing defense systems to intercept. This strategy aims to exploit potential vulnerabilities in carrier group defenses, forcing them to operate at greater distances from potential conflict zones and potentially limiting their effectiveness in certain scenarios. Simulated strikes against aircraft carriers. The Russian military has conducted simulated strikes against American aircraft carriers using their Granite missiles, providing valuable insights into the potential vulnerabilities of these massive vessels. These simulations offer a detailed breakdown of the progressive damage an aircraft carrier might sustain under various attack scenarios. According to these simulations, the impact of Granite missiles on an aircraft carrier varies in damage severity. With 1 to 2 hits, the carrier can be restored to full operational capability within a few hours, maintaining functional catapults and air finishers for continued flight operations, while 3 to 5 hits leave the carrier with partial combat capability and in need of serious repairs at a base. If more than half of its air wing is rendered inoperable, the aircraft carrier's strike capacity is significantly reduced. With 6 to 8 hits, the carrier loses its ability to restore combat capability, limiting operations to helicopters only, and requiring an extensive overhaul that could take months or even years, effectively removing it from the current conflict. Between 9 and 19 hits, the damage becomes so severe that repair and rebuilding may no longer be feasible, potentially resulting in the carrier being considered a total loss. At 20 to 24 hits, representing a full salvo from a Project 949A, submarine or heavy cruiser, the carrier is reduced to what the simulation describes as a charred hole, signifying complete destruction. These simulations highlight the potential vulnerability of aircraft carriers to concentrated missile attacks, even from older generation weapons like the Granite. They suggest that while carriers are indeed resilient, they are not invulnerable, especially when faced with multiple precision strikes. The findings from these simulations likely influence both offensive and defensive strategies. For potential adversaries, they indicate the number of successful hits required to neutralize a carrier. For carrier-operating navies, they underscore the critical importance of layered defenses and the need for constant improvements in damage control and survivability features. Torpedo threats and carrier protection systems. The threat of torpedo attacks on aircraft carriers remains a significant concern, and modern carriers incorporate sophisticated protection systems to counter this danger. One notable torpedo in this context is Russia's shockwaves, which boasts an exceptional speed of 200 miles per hour. However, its effective range is limited to only 8 miles, necessitating submarines to approach dangerously close to launch an attack. Aircraft carriers are equipped with robust anti-torpedo protection, featuring a 20-foot thick barrier designed to withstand the impact of a standard 21-inch torpedo, armed with a 660-pound warhead. This defense system employs the American three-chamber scheme, which includes an outer expansion chamber at the ship's skin, an absorption chamber typically filled with aviation fuel, and a final expansion chamber positioned in front of the main watertight bulkhead. To guard against bottom explosions, carriers feature a double bottom throughout the ship's length and a reinforced keel. The hull is further compartmentalized by 23 transverse and 4 longitudinal watertight bulkheads, enhancing the vessel's ability to remain afloat even after sustaining significant battle damage. Despite these defenses, the sheer size and complexity of an aircraft carrier mean that multiple torpedo hits could still be catastrophic. Estimates suggest that it would take at least 10 torpedoes of 21-inch caliber to sink such a massive ship. This combination of sophisticated defenses and the carrier's inherent size creates a challenging scenario for potential attackers. Submarines must not only penetrate the carrier group's anti-submarine defenses, but also deliver multiple accurate hits to cause critical damage. Conversely, it underscores the importance of carrier groups maintaining robust anti-submarine warfare capabilities to prevent enemies from even getting within torpedo range. The strategic dilemma for opponents of aircraft carriers. Aircraft carriers represent a major component of modern naval power, offering unmatched operational flexibility and projection of force. The challenge for nations opposing these formidable ships lies in overcoming their extensive defenses. The United States Navy's Gerald Ford class carriers exemplify this capability with their advanced features, including electromagnetic catapults and extensive defensive systems. However, this strength also presents a strategic dilemma for adversaries, who must find ways to counter these powerful platforms effectively. China and Russia are the primary challengers. China's strategy includes deploying the Dongfeng 21D anti-ship ballistic missile, the world's first missile specifically designed to target moving carriers at long distances. With a range of approximately 1,100 miles, these missiles pose a significant threat. China has also developed an array of satellites to enhance targeting accuracy for these missiles. Despite this, a single missile is unlikely to sink a carrier. Instead, it is the potential for multiple missiles to overwhelm the carrier's defenses that presents a serious threat. Similarly, Russia employs advanced weapons like the Granite anti-ship cruise missile and the newer Zircon hypersonic missile. The Granite, with a range of 400 miles and a warhead weight of 1,600 pounds, is designed to penetrate advanced naval defenses. The Zircon, which travels at hypersonic speeds, further complicates defensive measures due to its high velocity and maneuverability. Despite these threats, the effectiveness of these weapons in neutralizing a carrier depends on their ability to penetrate layered defenses. The United States carrier's sophisticated anti-aircraft and anti-missile systems, including the Aegis combat system, provide substantial protection. This dynamic highlights the ongoing challenge for opponents, balancing offensive capabilities with effective countermeasures against one of the most resilient platforms in modern warfare. Debate on reducing the number of United States aircraft carriers. The debate over reducing the number of United States aircraft carriers has intensified as costs and strategic needs are reevaluated. Aircraft carriers are among the most potent symbols of American naval power, yet they come with substantial financial and strategic commitments. Each carrier strike group, which includes an aircraft carrier, multiple guided missile cruisers and destroyers, and submarines, costs approximately $6.5 million per day to operate. With 10 such groups in service, the total expenditure amounts to at least $65 million daily. The Gerald Ford class carriers, such as the CVN-78 Gerald Ford, represent the pinnacle of naval technology and cost nearly $13 billion each. These carriers are designed for maximum efficiency, featuring advanced electromagnetic catapults and nuclear reactors that eliminate the need for refueling for half a century. Despite their impressive capabilities, there are concerns about their vulnerability in the high operational costs associated with them. The effectiveness of these carriers is challenged by advances in anti-ship weaponry from rival nations. For example, China has developed the DF-21D anti-ship ballistic missile, which can target carriers at a range of 1,100 miles. Similarly, Russia's Granite and Zircon missiles are designed to penetrate advanced naval defenses, posing a significant threat to carrier strike groups. These developments have prompted discussions about whether maintaining a large fleet of aircraft carriers is cost-effective, given the evolving threat landscape. The high cost of operating and maintaining carriers, coupled with the growing capabilities of anti-carrier missiles, raises questions about the strategic value of investing heavily in these assets. The debate continues as military analysts and policymakers weigh the benefits of these powerful ships against their operational challenges and costs. The future role of aircraft carriers in modern warfare. Aircraft carriers have been central to modern naval strategy since their inception over a century ago. The future role of these floating air bases in modern warfare is evolving rapidly, driven by advances in technology and shifting global threats. In the coming years, aircraft carriers will continue to serve as crucial components of naval power due to their ability to project air power globally. The latest generation of carriers, like the Gerald Ford class, represents the pinnacle of this capability. These vessels are designed to operate for decades without needing to refuel, carry a large complement of aircraft, and utilize advanced technologies like electromagnetic catapults for launching aircraft more efficiently. However, the increasing range and precision of anti-ship missiles pose a significant challenge. Countries such as China and Russia are developing advanced weapon systems, like the Chinese Dongfeng 21D anti-ship ballistic missile and Russia's Zircon hypersonic missile, which are capable of striking carriers from great distances. These advancements necessitate enhanced defensive measures on carriers, including sophisticated multi-layered air defense systems and advanced radar capabilities to detect and intercept threats before they reach their targets. Despite these challenges, aircraft carriers are unlikely to become obsolete. Their flexibility and power projection capabilities provide strategic advantages that are difficult to replace. They will remain central to naval strategies but must continuously adapt to counter new threats and maintain their dominance on the high seas. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.